Chapter 1, Hidden in Plain Sight. Bangkok's heat pressed against the windows of the Inimus office, but inside, the air conditioning hummed steadily. I sat in my usual corner, fingers hovering over the keyboard, pretending to work on spreadsheets. But my mind was somewhere else. On the screen in front of me, hidden behind a sea of corporate data, was my secret. A folder no one was supposed to see. Finance 2020 Final, Zilk, such a dull name for something so precious. Inside were my favorite BL manhwas, fan art I'd collected over years, and my own fanfiction, written in stolen moments between meetings. No one could ever find out. Not my coworkers, not my boss. This world was mine alone. I adjusted my hoodie to cover the small BL pin I'd accidentally worn to work once, and never dared to show again. I sipped my caramel latte and tried to focus. Then the ping from my inbox shattered my fragile calm. Security audit, external access incoming, an ethical hacker will be testing our network. Today! My heart slammed. Panic made my fingers move fast to encrypted my folder. Anything to keep it safe. But what if he still finds it? I don't have enough time to copy all of my work somewhere else. Pam from HR popped over, breaking me thoughts. New IT guys coming. Some white hat hacker dude, she said, grinning like it was a joke. I forced a smile, but inside I wanted to disappear. This was my sanctuary, my secret life. I just hoped it would stay that way.
Chapter 2, Discovery. Today was my first day at Inimus Technologies, the client who hired me to poke holes in their security. A fancy way of saying ethical hacker, but it sounds cooler when you say it like that. I walked into their office building with my usual calm, though honestly, I was curious. This company's network is a tangled jungle from what they told me. I'm used to crawling through lines of code, but people, that's a different beast. I was briefed quickly. Scan for vulnerabilities, test access controls, and report back. Simple, right? But then came the kicker. I'd have access to all user directories. That's when things got interesting. While running my initial sweep, I stumbled across a folder named finance_2020_final.xlsx. Pretty boring name for what I found inside. Manhwas for Nut, BL stories. A whole secret world someone was hiding on the company network. I'm not going to lie, I was fascinated. This guy's digital diary was an open window into his heart. His files revealed someone more than just an office worker, a dreamer, maybe lonely, with a love for romance, the kind you don't find in boardrooms or spreadsheets. I don't know why, but I felt a spark. This wasn't just about security anymore. I want to meet him. I'm calling him Pre, that's his nickname. I found it buried in his documents. He's cautious, hiding his passion behind layers of encryption and fake folder names. But I can see right through the digital mask. Tomorrow, I'm going to say hello.
Chapter 3, The Hacker's Arrival. The morning light barely filtered through the blinds when I heard footsteps approaching my desk. My heart skipped a beat before I even saw who it was. Priya, a calm voice asked. I looked up to see a tall man with sharp eyes and a confident posture. He had the kind of presence that made the whole office seem quieter. I'm Chris Ada, he said, holding out a hand. The hacker they hired to test security. I shook his hand, trying not to fumble. Ah, yes. Welcome to Inimus. He smiled, but there was something in his gaze curious, almost amused. Like he already knew there was more to me than just spreadsheets and coffee. Over the next few minutes, he asked me about the network, casually mentioning that he'd be poking around user files. I felt my throat tighten. Just. Let me know if you need anything, I managed. As he walked away, I caught a glimpse of his phone screen, a wallpaper of a manga couple locked in a gentle embrace. My breath caught. Maybe this wasn't going to be so bad after all. Chapter 4, A Quiet Message. That afternoon, after lunch, I finally dared to open the folder again. I'd been too scared before. What if someone really did access it? What if my secret was out? My fingers trembled as I clicked into Finance to 020 Final, Zelsex. And there it was, a small text file I hadn't put there. I open it carefully and read. Sometimes the heart needs a little courage to bloom. My breath caught. How did this get here? I looked around the office, half expecting to catch someone watching me. But no, just the quiet hum of computers and the distant chatter. It has to be Crit, right? Who else? My mind raced. Did he find out my secret? Will he mock me? As soon as I saw him alone, I have to ask.
Chapter 5. First Words. Hey Crit, did you find something interesting on the network? Pre caught me off guard. His eyes searched mine, suspicious but hopeful. Find something interesting. I shrugged, trying to keep my cool. Just doing my job. He didn't look convinced. I smiled softly. Maybe more than just the job. He flushed, looking anywhere but at me. Look, I didn't mean to pry. I just wanted you to know, I'm not here to judge. Pre's shoulders relaxed slightly. Thanks, he whispered. For a moment, the office noise faded, and all I saw was the quiet courage behind his eyes. Maybe it was time for both of us to take a chance.
Chapter 6, Taking Chances. After that moment, the air between Crit and me felt different, charged, but not uncomfortable. Like a secret had passed between us, unspoken but understood. I kept stealing glances at him, noticing small things. The way he leaned back when thinking, the faint smile that appeared when he thought no one was watching. I wanted to ask more about that message, but the words caught in my throat. Instead, I tried to act normal, whatever that meant. Later, when he walked past my desk, I caught him looking at me. His eyes held a question, maybe an invitation. I swallowed hard. Maybe it was time to take a little courage, too. Do you want to grab coffee after work? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. He looked surprised, then smiled that same crooked smile. I'd like that, he answered. For the first time in a long while, I felt like maybe my two worlds, the office and my secret BL life, could finally meet.
Chapter 7. Coffee and Codes. The cafe, across from Moose, was nearly empty. Dim lights, soft jazz, and the faint aroma of roasted beans filling the space. We sat in a corner booth, 2 cups of coffee between us, untouched. Pre fidgeted with his stirrer, drawing little spirals in the foam of his latte. He hadn't said much since we left the office, but I didn't mind. I wasn't in a rush. I wasn't sure you'd say yes, he said finally, not looking at me. I was hoping you'd ask, I replied. That made him glance up, startled. Then he smiled. Not the polite work smile I'd seen before, but something real, something soft. He sipped his drink, then set the cup down. So, how much did you see? I didn't pretend not to understand. I leaned back, letting the questions settle between us. Enough, I said quietly. I read the confession scene on the rooftop. The kiss in the rain. That quiet chapter where they hold hands under the table and don't say anything for 3 whole pages. Pre-froze, face going pale. I saw the bed scene too, I added, watching his reaction closely. The way you wrote it wasn't just about sex, it was soft, careful, full of emotion. His ears turned bright red, but he didn't interrupt. I didn't read it to mock you, Pre, I said. I kept reading because I felt something. Like you'd written from a place that was honest. Like you wanted the love to feel real. He looked at me, vulnerable, raw. No sarcasm, no mask. I didn't think anyone would ever read that, he whispered. I'm glad I did, I said. Because now I know the kind of heart you have. He looked away, blinking fast. It's still embarrassing. Maybe, I said, smiling. But it's also beautiful. We sat in silence after that, a soft, charged quiet. Nothing else needed to be said. But I had a feeling this was only the beginning.
Chapter 8, Layers Unlocked. That night, lying in bed, I couldn't stop thinking about how Crit looked at me like I wasn't just someone hiding behind fake Excel files and awkward silences. No one had ever really seen me like that before. In the weeks that followed, things things between us changed slowly, carefully. At work, we were still professional. He'd walk by my desk and tap it twice a quiet hello only I noticed. But outside the office, we were learning each other. He showed me his own sketches, yes, Crit drew too. Not fan art like me, but cool, abstract stuff full of angles and lines that made me think. You don't post these? I asked once. He shrugged. Didn't think anyone would get it. I smiled. I think they would. He looked at me like maybe he believed it a little more because I said it. And I realized we weren't so different after all.
Chapter 9, A Line of Code. A few days later, I was updating the network audit logs when I noticed a new folder appear in the system. Same name, same trick. finance_221_final.xlsx. But inside, instead of fanfics, I found something else. A single image. 2 characters sitting side by side, legs swinging over the edge of a pier. One of them looked suspiciously like me. All sharp lines and hoodie shadows. The other was undeniably him. I stared at it for a long time. There was a note in the corner of the image. Some stories are better when written together. I didn't know if he meant it as fiction, a metaphor, or something more. But I knew one thing for sure. I was ready to find out.
Chapter 10, Beta Testers Offline. The next morning, Crit stopped by my desk, like usual. But this time, he didn't walk away after his quiet tap. Got a second? He asked, smiling. I nodded, heart thudding. He handed me a USB drive. What's this? Something I've been working on, he said, eyes flickering with mischief. Check it out after work. All day, I was useless, barely able to focus, half daydreaming, half panicking. When I finally opened it, my jaw dropped. It was a game. A small, beautifully rendered visual novel. And the main characters? They were us. Crit and me. Unlocking secrets. Taking chances. Falling in love. I messaged him right away. This is amazing. You made this? His reply came fast. Yes, but the last chapter is missing. Thought you might want to co-write the rest. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, then I typed. Only if we call it Finance 2.0 to Final Finalforial, Zelsex. Crit sent back a laughing emoji and a heart. And just like that, a new story began. Not hidden. Not encrypted. Just ours.